The rain in Spain stays mainly in the...
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.
Day 12, walking between 10 and 15 kilometres today, so another short day. 2 short days in a row to allow ourselves to recover. Today, walking from Logroño to Navarrete. Interesting walk out of Logroño. It's like a walking path boulevard which just spanned for kilometres out of the town, and it seemed to be the place to go for a morning walk. So we're all kitted up with our backpacks and our walking sticks and all sorts of things. It seems to be the locals of Logroño are all out for their morning walk. We didn't rush out the door this morning. In fact, by the time we left, I think it must have been about 9:30. Very late for pilgrims to be getting on the path, but it is a short day. And it was a cold morning and I hadn't had a coffee, so then stopped off at one of the last cafe bars before we left the town for an espresso. Different coffee culture here than there is in Australia. You know, the rise of the takeaway coffee and the takeaway coffee cup is not in existence here. So you either sit down, have a coffee and talk, or stand at the bar and have your coffee. So definitely a different coffee culture than the takeaway coffee cup culture. On the walk out of Logroño, like I said, this long boulevard. Gracias. Long boulevard where everyone seems to be up for their morning walk that stretched for kilometres, and then went into a nature reserve. So essentially, I think we just did almost like a big lap of what was a dam, which now is a lake. Lots of wildlife there. Wildlife that's used to people. You know, we stopped just for a breather, and suddenly some big ducks came waddling out of the lake directly up to us and started wagging their tails, wanting whatever we had. They weren't so interested in the fruit, the mandarins or the clementines. They were interested in the biscuits though. These ducks know the good stuff. They were Biscoff biscuits. Hard to go past Biscoff with the chocolate in between them. And then also the squirrels. Tiny squirrels, very, very brave and bold, very used to humans, coming right up, fronting up to you, standing up, almost to say, right, what have you got for me? Definitely not shy. And the fish, we crossed this tiny little timber bridge in this reserve, and there were, I kid you not, hundreds of these large fish all gathered near the bridge, waiting for people to come past and to feed them. These fish, they had no space. There was just fish on top of fish on top of fish. And there were hundreds of them, huge. I have no idea what type of fish they were. They did have some sort of catfish type mouth with the whiskers. They were very large, big scales. You might be able to hear in the background. After leaving the nature reserve, we've climbed another hill and now we're walking parallel with the highway. Just apologies for the vehicle noise in the background if it's coming through. Overcast day. I love these overcast days for walking. Cool temperatures, overcast. But today there is a little bit of spitting rain. Made the decision not to put the wet weather gear on. Just suffocates you. So rolling the dice. If it starts raining, I'll put it on. But about 5 kilometres, I think, to go until we get to Navarrete. I think we've got an apartment booked there. Opportunity to spread out, rest up, and then the days start to build again. But day 12, this really starts to feel like it is our new normal, our new routine of waking up early. Well, not too early, but early enough. Getting yourself packed and getting out on the road. and getting the kilometres done, rolling into town. We always seem to arrive during siesta. So then once siesta's done, getting out and finding whatever we can, going to sleep and repeat the process all over again. It's quite nice. Quite hypnotic, repetitive. Anyway, Navarrete, here we come. Well, it's a cold evening here in Navarrete. We arrived early afternoon, actually quite early. When we arrived, we found a bar that was opened and enjoyed another range of pinchos. They were fantastic. There was asparagus, tomato, mushrooms. The mushrooms were good, really, really good. And a few other types that we had there. The pinchos were excellent. We've got a nice apartment here, very close to the church. Now, this church, Navarrete's a fairly small town, a town that you think's got some wealth, but this church went in through big doors, big wooden doors into a big stone church and turned right just as you come in. And I have never, ever seen so much gold. The altar is adorned with gold on the walls, all different significant scenes out of scripture portrayed behind the altar. It's very dark, but put a euro into a particular slot, which my son did, and then the gold was just lit up, spectacular. And then all the way around the church was so many significant images, statues, things like Stations of the Cross, and a whole other range of things there. Big organ as well. The lectionary where you would read from, up a flight of stairs. So you're standing up over the congregation when reading. This is a very beautiful, significant church. Very, very spectacular. Tomorrow, kilometres start to pick up again, and it's been a good 2 days of less kilometres for us to recharge, regenerate, and ready to go again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.